Welcome to T4G Sports. How y'all do today? Today we're going to be talking about Florida State joining the Big Ten, the legal battle between them and the ACC, and we're going to try to make this entire thing very simplistic, give you our opinions on it, and we're not going to try to complicate it. And if you guys end up agreeing with what we have to say, then let us know in the comments below. If you guys don't, then same thing applies. So hit that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell. Let's go light it up. Before I go into anything, I'm going to show you guys numbers real quick. I just want to go over these numbers. So the Big Ten 2022 fiscal year, this is before adding Oregon, Washington, UCLA, USC, before adding any of them. Regionally, they made the most money, right? And that's because Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan, obviously. Ohio State and Penn State are the two most valued programs of any programs out there when it comes to TV revenue. Like, they're just ridiculous, their brand. So the SEC, before adding Texas and Oklahoma, made $49 million, which is crazy to think about. Indiana pulled in more money than Alabama through the TV revenue sharing. That's just a crazy thing to think about. That number's only going to go up. So is this number, just because of the teams that they added, with SEC adding Texas and Oklahoma. ACC, 37.9 to 41.3 million approximately. This is all approximate. Not bad, but that number's not going to really increase that much because you didn't add any new teams that are going to really increase that value. So you're looking at a pretty steady amount of income, right? You look at the Pac-12, they made $37 million. What happened to the Pac-12? They died. They're dead. They're gone. And that's about the same amount of money that you made, okay? Writing on the wall. Look at the writing on the wall here. Big 12, they took a huge gut punch because they lost Texas and Oklahoma. So we're going to look over an article here, Key Power 5 Conference Media Rights Deals by Sports Business Journal. And they talk about the contracts moving forward for the Big Ten, SEC, and what have you. The Big Ten signed a 7-year deal with Fox, NBC, and CBS until 2030 for $1.15 billion. Now, that number will only grow. Okay, that's only going to grow, and I'll show you why in a second. Same thing with the SEC. And you notice how NBC and CBS all of a sudden changed their tune, started to heavily invest into the Big Ten, and you start to look at those numbers. These guys know what they're doing. These TV contracts, they're not stupid. They know what they're doing. They're going after the Big Ten because the Big Ten's making a lot of money because of mainly Ohio State and Michigan. It's honestly insane how much those two schools bring in popularity-wise. And then you got the SEC with the 10-year deal until 2034, pulling in $710 million, right? That number's only going to increase as well because you look at the college football playoff contract, and it expires in 2025 to 2026. $608.33 million. You're almost getting close to $1 billion at that point in time. Now, what does that tell you? The more the playoff starts to expand, the bigger this number is going to get, which is going to go to the teams, the conferences with the teams in the playoff, which is going to be comprised majority of Big Ten and SEC teams. So the Big Ten and SEC are going to just keep eating and eating and eating. You look at the Pac-12, they had a 12-year deal that expired in 2024. Take note of that date. For $250 million. What happened to the Pac-12? You already know. The ACC, it's 2036, a little bit less money than the Pac-12, and the Pac-12 did not survive, right? They just did not survive. Simple as that. So what I really think is happening here is this is very, very basic. So where are we headed in college football? Well, it's becoming pro football. There's no more student athletes. Eventually in time, these massive TV rights deals are going to end up going to these teams to pay for their football teams. They're going to get a revenue share to some degree. These players will get. I'm telling you, it's heading that way. They're already expanding the playoff. They're getting ready to turn this into a juggernaut, right? Just a money-making, churning beast. And no academics are going to stop that. The ACC can't stop that. No one's going to. The NCAA can't stop it. It's over. The ship has sailed. It's becoming humongous. Okay, when you look at all these numbers and you start to see that, if you are a team in the ACC, you have to get out of the ACC because you know the writing on the wall where this is headed. If it goes into TV revenue sharing, you're done. You're toast because other teams will be able to afford better players eventually in time. And I know I'm talking, it almost sounds like space stuff to you at this point. Like you're like, whoa, remember, we're not in the old times anymore. Where this is going bigger than what you can imagine. It's not going to stop. It's going to keep growing. Trust me, there's billions of dollars on the table right now, and they all know it. All of them, the TV networks, everyone, they are chomping at the bit. No one cares where your region is. No one cares about your academics anymore. They care about how much money are we gonna make. They are all on the same board. I'm telling you right now, and there's no one who's going to stop that. So, if you're the ACC, why are you going to play hardball when no matter what you do, you cannot change the outcome? There's no one you can add. They even have Notre Dame here. Notre Dame football with NBC, and they're going to sign a new deal, and that deal could be, let's just say, $60 million. Let's just go with that number. That's not going to affect and change this at all, because you're not even talking about what the playoff money is going to start getting to, and the Big Ten and the SEC are going to consume a lot of that every year. The numbers are going to become drastically massive for the SEC and the Big Ten, to where they're going to be able to do whatever the hell they want. And those are the two conferences that are right now working together. Tony Tipititi and Greg Sankey are talking about whatever the future of college football or whatever the hell that is. Guys, the writing's on the wall. So if you're the ACC, you're either going to get fired in 2036 and go through years and years of litigation with all these teams, because if you think Florida State's going to be the only one eventually in time taking them to court, I would have to say I disagree with that entirely. I think after 5 years, when they start seeing these numbers, they're going to go, we got to get out of here. I mean, Ohio State can't make $1 billion more in a decade than Clemson, and Clemson's going to be cool with that. That's insane. A program already that elite pulling in that much more money? Oh, no way. That's you just can't keep up with that. That's insane. So you got to get with the times. So if you're the ACC, you know that you're probably going to be up to years and years and years and years of litigation with it's not worth it. At some point in time, you might as well just settle for a number that's big that you know can be paid. The big boys pay it, they go and leave, because you're either going to take an early retirement and get paid a lot of money and pay off the ESPN or whatever, however that works. I don't know, but either way, the writing is on the wall that it's either years of litigation and pain, and the fan bases are going to go insane. The teams are going to be just ugly. It'll be an ugly marriage, very ugly. Or you cut a deal, get them to pay that deal, get your money, walk away early. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think the ACC is going to come to grips and just go, this is what it's going to cost. They're going to accept it. They're going to move on. Florida State, Miami, Clemson, they'll probably go to the Big Ten. One of them may go to the SEC, but I think it'd be smarter to go to the Big Ten. I think UNC, I think North Carolina is going to be more of the wild card, but I still think they'll end up going to the Big Ten. I think it makes more sense. And I think that's where this is going to end. Let us know your guys' opinion.